Have the new generations already found Christ without the church? Exploring Gen Z's values and their surprising alignment with Orthodox Christianity. Generational shifts significantly change societal values, behaviors, and worldviews. As each generation emerges, it navigates a rapidly evolving cultural, technological, and social landscape, often termed the new normal. This study explores how newer generations, for example Millennials, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha, can adapt to this new normal, move beyond inherited social criticisms from parental or pre-generational perspectives, and act as bridges to the foundational principles of Christianity: unconditional love, gratitude, truth, honesty, social justice, forgiveness, and peace, and orthodoxy: orthodox dogmas, praxis, and mentis. Surprisingly, these traditional values exhibit a high degree of alignment with the priorities of younger generations, offering opportunities for meaningful connection and dialogue. 1. Adapting to the new normal in behavior. The new normal refers to evolving societal norms shaped by technological advancements, globalization, and shifting cultural paradigms. Younger generations demonstrate remarkable adaptability to these changes, driven by their exposure to digital environments, diverse perspectives, and rapid societal transformations. Characteristics of the new normal: digital integration. Constant connectivity through social media, smartphones, and virtual platforms has redefined communication, work, and relationships. Diversity and inclusion. Increased awareness of social, racial, and gender diversity has fostered more inclusive attitudes. Mental health awareness. Open discussions about mental health and well-being are prioritized, reducing stigma. Environmental consciousness. Climate change and sustainability are central concerns, influencing lifestyle choices. Flexible identities. Fluidity in gender, career paths, and personal expression is more accepted. Generational tolerance and adaptation. Younger generations, particularly Gen Z and Gen Alpha, exhibit greater tolerance for these shifts due to their upbringing in a hyper-connected, diverse world. Studies indicate that 60% of Gen Z believes diversity strengthens society, compared to 48% of Millennials and 42% of Gen X, Pew Research Center, 2020. This openness allows them to embrace behaviors like remote work, non-traditional relationships, and advocacy for marginalized groups without the resistance often seen in older generations. Implications. This adaptability aligns with Christian principles of unconditional love and acceptance, as younger generations are more likely to embrace others regardless of differences. Their tolerance for the new normal reflects a willingness to engage with evolving societal structures, which can be a foundation for fostering peace and forgiveness in diverse communities. 2. Desisting from proxy advocacy of parental/pre-gen social criticisms. Previous generations often passed down social criticisms rooted in their historical and cultural contexts, such as rigid gender roles, skepticism of technological progress, or resistance to social justice movements. Younger generations are increasingly distancing themselves from these inherited perspectives, forging their identities. Why younger generations move away from proxy advocacy? Access to information. The internet and social media expose younger generations to diverse viewpoints, enabling them to question inherited biases. For example, 73% of Gen Z uses social media to learn about social issues, Morning Consult 2020. Global connectivity. Exposure to global perspectives reduces reliance on localized or familial critiques. Education and awareness. Higher education levels and resource access encourage critical thinking over blind adherence to tradition. Value shifts. Younger generations prioritize authenticity, equity, and individual expression over conformity to outdated norms. Challenges. While younger generations are less likely to act as proxies for their parents' criticisms, they face challenges navigating intergenerational tensions. For instance, older generations may view their rejection of traditional criticisms as rebellion or disrespect, leading to family or societal friction. Opportunities. By desisting from proxy advocacy, younger generations can engage in constructive dialogue, focusing on shared values rather than divisive critiques. This shift aligns with the Christian ethos of forgiveness and peace, which encourages reconciliation over perpetuating conflict. It also allows younger generations to redefine social narratives in ways that resonate with truth and honesty. 3. Connecting to the basic ethos of Christianity. The core ethos of Christianity, unconditional love, gratitude, truth, honesty, social justice, forgiveness, and peace, resonates deeply with the values of younger generations, despite their often reported disaffiliation from organized religion. Alignment with Christian ethos. Unconditional love. Gen Z's emphasis on inclusivity and acceptance mirrors the Christian call to love one's neighbor without judgment. For example, 66% of Gen Z supports same-sex marriage, reflecting a commitment to love and equality. Gallup 2021. Gratitude. Younger generations express gratitude through mindfulness practices and social media trends like gratitude challenges, aligning with Christian teachings on thankfulness. Truth, honesty. The demand for transparency in institutions, for example government corporations, reflects a commitment to truth, a cornerstone of Christian ethics. Social justice. Gen Z is notably activist, with 70% participating in social justice movements. Edelman 2020. This mirrors Christian teachings on advocating for the marginalized and oppressed. Forgiveness. While less explicit, younger generations' focus on mental health and healing aligns with forgiveness as they seek to resolve personal and societal conflicts. Peace, advocacy for global issues like climate change and conflict resolution reflects a desire for environmental and social peace. Challenges in connection. Despite these alignments, younger generations are less likely to identify with institutional Christianity. Only 18% of Gen Z attend religious services regularly, compared to 34% of boomers. Pew Research Center 2020. This disconnection stems from perceptions of hypocrisy, exclusivity, or irrelevance in traditional religious structures. Opportunities for engagement. To bridge this gap, Christian communities can emphasize shared values like social justice and unconditional love in outreach efforts. Leverage digital platforms to connect with younger audiences, as 80% of Gen Z prefers online engagement. Barna Group 2021. Foster authentic dialogue that acknowledges doubts and prioritizes honesty. 4. Connecting to orthodoxy, dogmas, praxis, and mentis. With its rich theological and liturgical traditions, orthodoxy offers a unique framework for engaging younger generations. Its emphasis on orthodox dogmas, correct belief, praxis, right practice, and mentis, right mindset, aligns surprisingly well with the values of newer generations. Orthodox dogmas, right belief. Orthodox theology emphasizes the mystery of faith, the Trinity, and the Incarnation, which resonate with younger generations' appreciation for depth and authenticity. For example, the focus on mystery appeals to Gen Z's interest in spirituality over rigid dogma, as 48% identify as spiritual but not religious. Springtide Research Institute 2021. The concept of theosis, becoming one with God, aligns with their desire for personal growth and purpose. Orthodox praxis, right practice. Orthodox practices such as liturgical worship, fasting, and communal prayer offer structure and meaning that younger generations seek in a chaotic world. For instance, liturgical worship provides a sensory, immersive experience that resonates with Gen Z's appreciation for aesthetics and ritual. Fasting aligns with their focus on mindfulness and intentional living. Community-oriented practices foster connection, addressing the loneliness reported by 61% of Gen Z. Cigna 2020. Orthodox mentis, right mindset. The Orthodox mindset emphasizes humility, contemplation, and openness to divine mystery. This aligns with younger generations' values of mental health, self-reflection, and authenticity. For example, practices like hesychasm, contemplative prayer, mirror mindfulness techniques popular among Gen Z. The emphasis on humility counters the performative culture of social media, offering a path to genuine self-awareness. Surprising alignment with new Gen values. The alignment between orthodoxy and new generational values is striking. Authenticity. Orthodoxy's emphasis on timeless truth resonates with Gen Z's demand for transparency and sincerity. Community. The communal nature of Orthodox worship addresses the desire for belonging in an increasingly isolated world. Social justice. Orthodoxy's call to care for the poor and marginalized aligns with Gen Z's activism. Spirituality. Orthodoxy's mystical and contemplative aspects appeal to younger generations' spiritual curiosity. 5. Practical strategies for connection. To leverage these alignments, religious communities, educators, and families can adopt the following strategies. 1. Digital engagement. Use social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and X to share stories of Christian and Orthodox values in action, such as community service or personal testimonies. 2. Intergenerational dialogue. Create spaces for older and younger generations to discuss values like social justice and forgiveness, reducing proxy advocacy and fostering mutual understanding. 3. Experiential faith. Offer immersive experiences like retreats, service projects, or liturgical workshops that connect Christian and Orthodox practices to modern values. 4. Education on shared values. Highlight the overlap between Christian Orthodox ethos and generational priorities, such as through sermons, workshops, or online content. 5. Mental health integration. Incorporate mental health resources into religious communities, framing forgiveness and peace as tools for emotional well-being. Younger generations are uniquely positioned to adapt to the new normal, move beyond inherited social criticisms, and connect with the timeless ethos of Christianity and Orthodoxy. Their values of inclusivity, authenticity, and social justice align surprisingly well with principles like unconditional love, truth, honesty, and peace. By fostering dialogue, leveraging digital platforms, and emphasizing shared values, religious communities can engage younger generations meaningfully, bridging the gap between tradition and modernity. Have the new generations already found Christ? Without the church? Are younger generations abandoning Christianity? Or are they unknowingly living out its core values? In this thought-provoking video, we explore how Millennials, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha adapt to the new normal in behavior, moving beyond inherited social criticisms and rediscovering, often unknowingly, the timeless ethos of Christianity and Orthodox tradition. What you'll learn: why digital natives embrace authenticity, justice, and inclusion, and how that reflects gospel values. How the Orthodox concepts of dogma, praxis, and mentis surprisingly resonate with Gen Z's spiritual hunger. The risks of generational disconnect, and how we can build meaningful bridges. Practical ways the church can re-engage a generation longing for truth, beauty, and depth. Discover how unconditional love, truth, peace, and forgiveness are not just ancient Christian ideals, but also modern generational priorities. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share if this message resonates with you or someone you care about.